So here we are. Welcome everyone to the Treasure Box Design Easter card class. My name is Teresita Arvelo. I'm one of the design team members for the company. We have great cutting files here, and I do enjoy a lot working with all the girls and Dina, who's the creative. She's the owner of the company and the one who does all these great files. So today I want to show you how to make this card. A lot of people have asked me about the shading of my pieces and how do we do like the eyes and the faces and stuff like that. So are we doing that too? I will be concentrating on the shading. And if this works and you guys like the class, we might do other classes coming up. So here, let's start. We're going to do this Easter card, like I said. I was trying to set up the camera a little bit up higher, or something went wrong with the lens or something. I will figure that out later for the next time. So I want you to see the whole card. Maybe you get an idea. It's a really 3D one. I don't know, if I put it this way, you might see from a top view how it opens, and when it's closed it looks like this, and it's a front view. See, it's very 3D, very 3D. It's not that difficult to do. For this card I use the following files: Jelly Beans and Somebody Loves Easter. We do have Kathleen from our design team. She's the administrator of the group, and she's also administrating the chat today. So if you guys have any questions, she will be more than happy to answer them. She's at the chat right now live, and she can also tell you exactly the names of the files. She can write them there, so you can look for them at Treasure Box Designs page. So it's Jelly Beans and Somebody Loves Easter. I usually love mixing files from Treasure Box Design. Sometimes I use maybe a flower, or maybe a basket, or something from one file, and then get some other pieces from other files and mix them together to get my projects done. The files are very easy to use. For this card in particular, I use the images just the same size as they are when you buy and download the files. I did not alter the sizes. So if you want to do this card, just go buy the files and just cut it the way it is. You don't have to do anything. If I was going to do a layout with the images, I love to have my pieces really big in my layout, so I will alter the size. This is an usual card. This is 4.5 by 5.5. Sorry, but 4 1/4. So it goes in one of the easy to find envelopes. It is not that too bulky, so it will fit in an envelope pretty easy if you want to use an envelope for it. Okay? So far we're doing great. Let's do the next step. The next step will be, if you have pen and pencil or something that you would like to take notes, let me show you the pieces that you're gonna need for the card. The base for the card is 11 by 4 1/4. So it's 11 inches by 4 1/4. Maybe Kathleen could write those down, or I will be doing a post maybe for Monday with all the measurements and stuff like that, and also the recording of this class. So let's say it's 11 by 4 1/4 for the base. Then you need a piece like this, which is actually this area here. Wait, it's this area here. You will need a piece like this, which is 1 inch by 11. You then will need a piece like this one. That's this inside. It's like the inside insert or whatever we call it of the card. This part here, and that's for the decorative paper, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's only one piece. And then you need 2 pieces of decorative paper for this area here, and those measures that measures 4 by 2 1/2 each piece. 4 by 2 1/2. That's the paper that's right here. Okay. Then we have this green piece here where the runner goes. That measures 6 inches by 3/4. 6 inches by 3/4. That's for the sentiment, if you want to add a sentiment. If you don't want, you can leave it just the way it is. You can maybe decorate it with adding eggs or jelly beans or whatever you want. Okay? I'm waiting for the girls are writing this down on our on the chat. If you guys have any questions so far, feel free to ask. They are there, willing to answer all the questions. Okay? Okay, next. This is really easy. Let's do a little assembling for the card, and then we go on to the actual piecing. Sorry for the noise. Okay, you're gonna score for the base at here. The base is the green one, the big one, the one that we said at the beginning that measures 11 by 4 1/4. You're gonna score that one at 2 3/4. Let me just try to do that too. Score at 2 3/4 right here. 5 1/2 is the next one. You cannot see it. Let's see. It's sort of off the camera, but imagine it. So we get scoring the base of the card at 2 3/4 and then a 5 1/2. We can fold it. We fold it. See? You got it ready. Half of the card done. Okay? So it looks like this. With everything, the embellishment and everything, it looks like this without anything. That's for the base. Then you score the piece, the long one, which is 1 by 11. You score that one at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And then 5 1/2. Okay, 2 3/4, 5 1/2. And that one is the one that's right here. We'll go from here and then here. Okay, and we'll go like this. And the last one that we're going to do the scoring is a teeny tiny one, the green one, which I don't see it here. This green one, you will score the green one at 1/2 inch, 3 inches, and 5.5 inches. That's because we need to have something looking like this. You see this small thing going inside? That's where we're gonna be able to glue it to the card. See? So you need to score that one at 1/2 inch, 3 inches, and 5.5 inches. Okay, let me go out now for the one of the funnest part here. I have the pieces. Here is the little faces, ears. I cut all the pieces. I want to show you how I do, because this is one of the most important parts. How do I do over in assembling this? For me, it's very important the shading, because that's what really gives the look for the pieces. If you don't do any shading, it's not gonna look that great. So when I'm cutting the images, the files, all I do is I have this plastic bags, and I put the pieces in there, and then I go back and do like I'm doing here, and I'll start shading. These are pieces here. Okay, ears and everything. Let me show you my way of doing this. Sometimes I use like the chalks, maybe dry ones or not, but what I love using better, the inks. I like to ink the edges with actual inks. I'm using at this time Close to My Heart inks, and I like to add a bit of ink the edges on a bit of a color darker than the actual cardstock paper that I'm using. I mean cardstock semi paper. In this case, I'm using saddle ink from Close to My Heart with a cardstock that is called Champagne. So the color, the cardstock is a lot lighter than the ink. And I usually do this with a sponge. I use the sponge and I just start adding the ink all around. Sometimes I'm talking over the phone with my friends, even my mom, and I'm doing like this, and she is like, okay, that's bothering me because I can hear you like squishy, squishy, squishy. But while I'm talking to her, I can do this. This is something you can do even if you are maybe watching TV or doing anything else. You can do this at the same time. Okay? So we do all the pieces right here. I'm not gonna do them all. Let's just pretend that we did, but I don't want this class to be too long. So you get an idea of how I do this, all the shading. Oops, sorry. Here, you can see this is one of the arms. You can see here the difference. One with the shading and one without the shading. I mean, it really does a big difference. Okay, and I do shading for everything, even though the skirts, everything there. Let's pretend, like I said, that I shaded all the pieces already. And now it is not easy to try to assemble this with the camera so low. I did it because I wanted to be able to have like a close-up image. Okay. I'm gonna assemble. I wanna assemble this in a way that you guys can see the how I do the eyes and the faces. Okay. Here's the belly. Here is, assemble these two together. Okay. We have here. Remember, pretend that they are all shaded and they are all inked. Okay, then once you have everything cut already, it makes it a lot easier for you to work. Okay, she's so cute. Love her. And here's another strap. I love that Dina does so many details to her designs, because that way she makes them look real, very real. Okay, we have the little buttons. And then we have the other one. And now I can glue the face. That's what I wanted to do. Face. Okay. Let me add also her arm, so she doesn't look strange while I'm working on her face. Sorry, what I need to shade the other arm quickly. There. We can even, no, let's leave the ears for later. So we have here the eyes. I like to use this big over. I need to get close to the camera. Let's see, how can I do this? Oh, from here, from the side. Okay. What I do, I just position the eyes. I'm not gluing them, just positioning the eyes more or less the way that I want them to be or to look like. I can move it once. I can move this around once I add glue to it. Okay, I like them there. So I'll take pencil and I hold the eyes and just trace a line. That's like a guideline for me. To see. Wait. Okay, I trace. You saw that I positioned the eyes there and then I traced it. with the charcoal pen. Now, this is one of the things that I love. I'll do some shading to those eyes so they look a bit more real. I use this chalks. Let me put it here so you can guys refer to them. I use this. I bought them, my gosh, like 6 or 7 years ago. Okay. And those are the ones that I use for the eyes. See how many pretty colors do we got in this palette? See? Okay, so I'll go and pick the black one. I'll get the black one. Okay, I use the applicator. You see? Let me put something in here. Okay, I use the applicator. And I add some shading. It might look messy to you, but wait until we finish. And now I glue the eyes. Teeny tiny drop. Oops. It's not sticking. Maybe it needs more glue. There you go. Okay. Now, I got a thin black liner. Sorry for moving the... I use this Copic. This is 0.03. This is from Copic, but any liner, black liner that you might have, very thin one will do. Remember that I'm working in a really tiny piece here. So I like to outline the eye and then start doing the lashes. I go one big, one small, 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 so on and so forth. Let's do the other one. One big, one small, one big, one small, big, small, big, small, big, small. Okay, and I do I curve them. See, I go like one big, one small, one big, one small. Give it a little bit of a curve. Then I add some white dots. I use this one, Uniball. It's called Uniball Signal. I love this one. This is a gel pen, white gel pen. I only add a drop on each eye. And then a teeny tiny one on a corner of the eye. Let it dry, and then we'll do something else to it later once it's dry. Okay. We have the cheeks. And for the cheeks, I always love to add a little bit of blue around the cheeks. I don't like when pieces are white, like for example with the during Christmas that we have the snow. We use snows in our layouts for the trees and the snowman and stuff like that. Even the icicles, snowflakes. I always love to use a bit of blue. Could be brown, it could be gray, or I prefer blue. Very light blue around the white, and it will give some pop to it. It will look different. So let's add a bit of the blue. For this one, I'm using Glacier. Let me put it there. I'm sorry. I'm using Glacier. And you see it has the blue around. Let's add a bit of glue to it. So we glue it there. We have the nose. Pretend that we did ink the edges already. Now she's looking prettier. I have the ear. Okay, the other one is right here. You guys stay till the end because we're gonna have a giveaway. Kathleen will be giving away something there in the chat. On this one, on this one, I added this piece on front. But now well, let's add it on front too. I was gonna add it on the back just to see how it looked. So if I add it on the front, I should go do that first. Let me do that first. Dina must be there saying, no, it doesn't go that way. Okay. This is paper, you know, guys. You can do whatever you want with it. Don't let the paper intimidate you. You're the one who said how things you want them to go. So you can tear them apart and put them back. Also, let's pretend that that ear was shaded. Okay. Stuck to the table. Okay. Let's see if it goes with me now. I love shading the cheeks. There is a trick. I'm using the Shack today, but if you have like one of those blush, the ones that you use for your makeup, that it's old, you can save it because that you can use that as a Shack to do your pieces. You can also use eyeshadows. That will look great too. Okay, so I added some to the cheeks, and like we do in real life, I'm adding some around her face. You know, makeup has to look even everywhere. I add some to the inside part of the ears. Let me blow this. I love, and I do this every time I'm shading or adding some blush to the cheeks. I love doing dots, like adding 3 dots sometimes to the cheeks. For me, it makes it like it glows. Okay, I did one that is not looking good, but you get the idea. I'm not comfortable here. You should see how I'm doing this. Crossing over the camera. Okay, also I told you that I was gonna let the white dry a bit before I continue in something. I always like to connect these 2 dots with a blue line. Also, I like to add highlights to my pieces everywhere. You see, if you see my work, you will see that I add lots of white. We have here the buttons. Let's see if you can see. We have here the buttons. And I add some white dots. I love adding a bit of a white on top of the nose. Here at the skirt, I like to add like line, dot, tiny dot, line, tiny dot, line, tiny dot, line, tiny dot, line. I take my time embellishing and inking and drawing on my pieces so they look more real and interesting. We go with the feet. Oh, one ink and one is not. Promise next time I'll have the pieces ink. I thought I did, but actually find out before starting the broadcast that I did not. I used to do these Eastern classes a lot. You can see I'm out of shape right now. It's because I changed the tripod that I used to use on my other classes because I wasn't able to get close-ups, and I wanted to for you guys to get a really good close-up today because of this details that I was gonna show you on how to do the faces, and it's really not easy for me to work with this other tripod. So I guess for the next time I'm going back to the old one, which will manage a lot better. Okay, we have her jelly bean. Even the jelly bean, I mean, everything that is in here, I would shade it. For the jelly bean, I use honey ink, and I did use honey cardstock. So let's add the jelly. Yummy. And also pretend that it's shaded. I got my hands sticky already. And we have the hand. I need to shade this one. I cannot do it without it. Shading, shading, shading. I like this detail that Dina does of adding the extra hands and paws and whatever. It depends on the piece. Adding those to the end makes it I mean, this more interesting, more 3D like. I'm in trouble with the white here. Sometimes the white gets a little bit clogged. Okay. So we have it here so far. Let's do this part, which is the big rabbit. I love this one. This is so easy to do. Okay. Let me set the girl aside. Here are all the pieces. Pretend they are all shaded. Okay. Let's do the paw. Oops. Let me add the glue. I remember when I was a little girl that I loved playing with puzzles. So this is like a puzzle for me. But a puzzle that I can control, because I can say cut it the size that I want to. Pretend that all the pieces are inked. Okay. Sorry for the movement. Let's glue this part here. See what I'm telling you? Other places they don't add these many details, these many great details that makes your artwork. When you give out to someone a card using these pieces, people always say like, oh my gosh, that looks so great, so real. And it's because of the great details that Dina puts on her images, on her files. Okay. This one, which is the fluffy tail, I added a 3D for that one, and I have an idea for you. I love foam core, not foam board, foam core. It's those foams that you use to make mock-ups. Okay, I'm an engineer and architecture, so when I was in school, I used a lot of this for all my buildings and stuff, for the mock-ups. And still, I love to do a lot of 3D artwork. So I buy the big ones, and then the ones that is left, when I'm using the whole thing, I cut it into pieces, and I use this as foam dots. So a lot less expensive, and you can cut it on your to the shape and size that you wanna need. See, it has this width. So this is a teeny tiny scissors. This is one of the close to my hair scissors, and I'm able to cut it with no problem at all. Okay. This is paper. This is foam cover with paper on both sides. So you can use any glue for this one because it is all like laminated with paper. The neat thing that I like about this, I'm using someone was asking me, I'm using quick dry adhesives from Scotch from 3M. I live in Puerto Rico and we have a very humid climate, and this is one of the best adhesive glues that we can use here for our climate. So we add some to this, add it to the tail. And the neat thing about using foam board is that it's really sturdy. Sometimes you use a pop dot and the area that doesn't have the pop will look funny, will look like it is not popped. See? See how it looks like? I'm telling you all my secrets. Okay. Okay, let me see. Next, we should assemble the card. Let me take a look at those chat to see if I need to answer something. Okay. I see something about people asking about machines and stuff, and Kathleen and the girls are answering those questions for you. I use either the Cricut or Cameo. I use both. And those of you who have both knows there is a bit of a difference between one and the other one in terms of the quality of the cutting and how teeny tiny and intricate cuts one can do. So I also tried the latest new Cricut, and they really are improving their cutting in terms of the sizes. They're looking so great. So it's really a matter of taste and how do you manage your computer and your machines. So technically you are about things like that, or like I said, it all depends. If you see the Cricut that I have, I do still have the first one Cricut, the first that came out, and that's the one that I love to use. So like I said, it all depends which Cricut do you have or do you want. You know, there's a piece here somewhere. I might need to, let me put this one so you can see something while I'm cutting something that is missing. By this time I have so many papers around. 4 by 2.5. Okay. Sorry for that. Oh, here we are. Okay. We have the base. We have these pieces and this one, the big one. Let me glue those. That's really easy stuff. Okay. This is double-sided paper. They are also great because they combine, they're really well combined and match, like I said. And you can use either side depending on your taste or on what you're trying to do. Like the one that I'm using for the base is the cardstock, but it's two-sided. See? And also it's this one. I'm using Close to My Heart papers. This is Penelope, one of the paper collections. And it's Penelope and Kaleidoscope. Let me just put it here because I don't know if I pronounce it right. See, Kaleidoscope. And the other one is Penelope. Okay. I'm gonna put this on front. Wait. No, this goes like this. Because it goes like this. Okay. This one, I glue it first here. This is like the front of my card. Let me show you that one. This is the one that I'm gluing right now. But I'm just gonna glue it up to here. Let me add the glue. It's here, more or less eyeball it. Okay, and then I make sure it goes right there. So I glue this one. I'm gluing this other one. Okay, let's go back again to make sure we close properly. There. See? Easy peasy. Nothing too difficult about it. I got this bunch. Look how pretty this is. Grass. It's also part of the files. I did in different sizes. So I'm not gonna add them all because it takes a lot of time. I do the shading too, like I did here. See, shading on all the greeny stuff. So I add glue and I start assembling. I do some on the top, then I add some on the bottom. See? And if you have them shaded, the difference, you will see the difference between one layer and the other one. Okay? Keep on doing this. I did another big one. And this is what I wanted to show you. And another big one, and there is a gap here. Well, you got the tiny ones for that. See? Isn't that great? Just be loose, like I said, be loose with it. Okay, you add this right here. You got it covered. You keep on doing that all the way until the end. Then for the bunny, I use, remember, foam core. And let me show you with the cutting it with the big Tim Holtz scissor. This is not the big one, this is a small one. I cut different pieces. And now glue my bunny. I want it to be 3D. I got pieces all over my crafting room. They are all in the floor, I guess. All over the floor. I like to cut them when I'm using them, when I need them, because that way I could cut them exactly little. This is too big. This exactly the size that I needed. So that's why I don't cut them in advance. Ah. Okay. I also put some in the ears. On both. Some here. It looks ugly on the back. Okay. And then I add glue, 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 glue. And then glue it to the cord. Okay. I'll do the same with this bunny here. We add some of the foam core or foam board and add it here too. Then for the sentiment, I use one of Close to My Heart stamp sets, and I love using either Memento ink or sorry for this mess, the mess here, or Close to My Heart archival inks. Why? Because every time you stamp with those two, the sentiment will get the letters, everything will stand really crisp. There's no way you can make a mess with it. They are permanent ink, both of them. You can even use it on plastic, crystals, fabric, everywhere. So, and I have this one with all the different messages. Any sentiment stamp that you might have, you're able to use it here. Okay. Here's how the final card will look. I don't think I should keep on going because it's been almost an hour, so I don't want this to be too long. Let me see if you have any questions. I'm here now looking at the chat if you guys have any questions that you want me to answer. Anything? I'm here reading. The shack, the kit that I was telling you about, the shack, I bought it years ago from Joanne Fabrics. You might look there to see if they still have those. I believe they do. They come in different color scheme. The ones that I got here says pearlescent. Let me see. See, pearlescent shack. Has 40 of them. These last forever. telling you, I have this for years and still they look brand new. I take good care of them though. And let me see if I could show you all the colors that are included on this palette. See, you get greens, you get pinks, you get browns. Here they look the same, but they are not. One is has like a bit of a shimmer on it, this one, and the other one is a flat white. See all the great colors. It comes with the applicator. This one here has some stencils that you can use too. I mean, comes really with everything. If you add more of the shag, the color will be darker. If you add less, it will be lighter. So it all depends the effect that you want to do with it. Let me see. I'm here in the chat. Thank you, Brenda. You wanna print her? You wanna see which one is it? It's here. Let me put it. I'm not sure. This is from the Cricut collection. There you go. One of the stamps from the Cricut collection. D1629. Just to say Cricut collection. I like it because it has. Let me open it for you. It has sentiments for any occasions, and it's great for the Treasure Book Design files that you get some stamps too with. See, I use them a lot. The ones that are the black ones that I'm using them. It's really neat to have good sentiment stamp collections because you can add those to your pieces, to your cards, even to layouts, to tags. If you we should do a tag on a next class. Let's see what else. Oh, let me announce it. Cindy just won $20 to get a file. I mean, multiple files from Treasure Box Design. Congrats to you. I'm so very happy that you won it. I'd like to thank you all for coming today. If you guys like the class, I have to say sorry for the bit of a delay and for not being able to show like the whole thing at once, the whole card, but I wanted to have a really good close-up so you can see, guys, the details of the face and the shadings and stuff like that. But next time I'll use the other tripod, which would give me a broader image and you guys could see all the bigger stuff. So if you love this and you like the class, please go to our Facebook fan page, Treasure Box Facebook fan page, and write a note on it. So if you like it, we could plan some other classes from time to time using files. Maybe I could do the project way in advance and announce it and tell you which files did I use and what papers are, the sizes of the papers that we're going to use, and you can be ready and maybe we can do the card together during the class. Okay? So I will finish the recording right now, but I will stay at the chat for a little bit longer if you guys have any questions. So you won't see any image because I'm gonna finish the recording, but you can hang around. I'll be a little bit longer at the chat. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, my sisters from close to my heart. I didn't have the time to look at the chat before to see which ones are here or not. You guys are great. So everybody take care. I love to hear from you guys. Any messages that you want to send me or send us at Treasure Box Designs, I'll be delighted for those. So take care and have a good evening and happy Easter to you all. Bye.